Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Once upon a time, in a land of tall mountains and sparkling rivers, there lived a kind and beautiful princess named Snow White. She had skin as white as snow, lips as red as cherries, and hair as black as a raven's feathers. Everyone in the kingdom loved her, but there was one person who did not. The evil queen, Snow White's stepmother, was jealous of her beauty. Every day she would ask her magic mirror, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" And the mirror would reply, "You, my queen, are fair and bright, but Snow White is the fairest in sight." The queen grew angry and plotted to get rid of Snow White. But Snow White, wise and brave, escaped into the deep forest. There, she discovered a cozy little cottage with tiny chairs, tiny beds, and tiny dishes. It belonged to 7 dwarfs who worked in the diamond mines. Their names were Happy, Grumpy, Sleepy, Sneezy, Bashful, Dopey, and Dark. "Please let me stay," Snow White said. "I'll cook and clean while you're at work." The dwarfs were delighted and agreed. Snow White made the cottage warm and cheerful, and they all became the best of friends. But the evil queen discovered Snow White was still alive. Disguising herself as an old peddler woman, she visited the cottage and tricked Snow White into biting a poisoned apple. As soon as she took a bite, Snow White fell into a deep, magical sleep. The dwarfs were heartbroken. They placed her gently in a glass coffin in the forest, surrounded by flowers. One day, a kind prince who had heard tales of the beautiful princess came to see her. He bent down and gently kissed Snow White, and like magic, she woke up. The spell was broken by true love's kiss. The forest rang with cheers and happy tears. The prince and Snow White returned to the castle and invited the dwarfs to live with them. And from that day on, they all lived happily ever after.